Hey, what's up everyone, Bestinwest here, and in this video I'm going to be going over a set that I did in the Go Battle League. I am currently in rank 10, and it took me a while to get there from the Great League, and now I am still in there when I'm in the Ultra League, but it's still preseason, so I'm still not sure how they're going to figure that whole ranking system out. But yeah, Ultra League is very hard. I have very little experience in the Ultra League, so I definitely lost a good amount of battles when it changed from Great League to Ultra League, and I spent a good chunk of Stardust as well powering up different Pokemon, trying to figure out what works. And when you're in the rank 10 level, you're facing off against great battlers. So I found that I was seeing very similar Pokemon every time I battled, but I couldn't find the Pokemon that was going to get the coverage that I wanted, and that led me to Feraligatr. Feraligatr has access to Waterfall and Ice Fang as fast moves, and this Feraligatr is actually running Ice Fang. Ice Fang gets coverage against Giratina, gets coverage against Articuno, hits Articuno for neutral damage. Ice Fang can hit Togekiss for super effective damage. There's a lot of merit in using Ice Fang on Feraligatr. Also, it has access to that Hydro Cannon, which is very powerful, and also Ice Beam, which can definitely nuke those grass types, those dragon types. Yeah, it just has a lot of good points as to why you're running Feraligatr with Ice Fang, Hydro Cannon, and Ice Beam, and that's what I'm running right here. And I'm picking two pretty meta Pokemon in Giratina Altered form and Snorlax. Snorlax running Lick, Body Slam, and Earthquake, and this Giratina is running Shadow Claw, Dragon Claw, and Ancient Power. And so we're just gonna watch some of these battles, and you can see how I do in them. But yeah, just getting into this first battle, I am going to speed this up a little bit to 1.5 speed. So this first battle is against Coca-Cola Special. I lead off with Feraligatr, and she leads off with Articuno. So Articuno is kind of like the flavor of the week, and it's going to be dealing not very effective damage to me, and she makes a very good swap into Snorlax, but this Hydro Cannon is still going to deal neutral damage. So she takes that, and I mirror her Snorlax with my Snorlax. So she gets a Body Slam off first, and so I'm not going to block this, I think. Yes, I don't block this because not going to deal a ton of damage. Earthquake will deal a good amount of damage, and Superpower will deal a good amount of damage too, but I think Earthquake, you get more coverage with it. Get my Body Slam off, she doesn't block it, so I get back-to-back Body Slams, and this will nearly knock her out. She's going to get one more Body Slam off on me, but I think I shield. Yes, I shield this Body Slam, and she switches into Articuno and gets an Icy Wind off right away. But I do have my own swap, and I swap back into my Feraligatr. So I'm trying to get to this Hydro Cannon, but she gets to an Icy Wind before me. I'm hoping it's an Icy Wind. Yes, it is, and I'm resisting because Feraligatr is a water type, and I get this Hydro Cannon off. I don't think it's going to knock her out because she shields. Ice Fang is going to be dealing neutral damage to this Articuno. I think she is going to, yep, she uses Ancient Power, dealing neutral damage to me this time, and she gets the boost. Man, that sucks. I go ahead and get this Hydro Cannon off, and I believe she shields that Hydro Cannon, preserving her boosted Articuno. I'm going to go ahead and send out my Snorlax, get a Body Slam off. This definitely isn't going to KO because Articuno is boosted and it's relatively tanky, so that boost definitely helped. Try to lick her down, but gets a charge move off. This Icy Wind is going to knock out my Snorlax. Luckily, I have Giratina with a shield, get one Shadow Claw, and that will knock out that Articuno. She sends out Swampert, and I'm just going to go for a Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is going to deal neutral damage, and I get stabbed from it, so that's why I'm going Dragon Claw. She sends out Snorlax, and I want to knock it out as soon as possible before before Snorlax can deal a good amount of damage with those licks. She gets a charge move off here. I think she has Earthquake, but she uses Hydro Cannon. I'm going to go ahead and get my Dragon Claws again. Just spamming those Dragon Claws is what I'm trying to do. Consistent chunks of damage to the Swampert. She gets another charge move off here. Earthquake. Big chunk of damage. Luckily, Giratina is a tank, and I'm just going to again spam these Dragon Claws, and that's going to knock out that Swampert, and GG. So as you saw there, Articuno does get kind of resisted by the Feraligatr. Because Feraligatr is only water type, ice moves are going to deal not very effective damage to it. Unlike Swampert, which is water and ground, which is going to take neutral damage from those icy winds. So Feraligatr has the advantage in that aspect. But let's get to the second battle. And this one, again, I'm still leading with Feraligatr, and in the back I have Giratina and Snorlax. So this one, Lance 918U. Very high rank, 3600, leads off with Shiftry. And these Ice Fangs are going to be dealing super effective damage to this Shiftry. I know he's running Snarl, so I know those fast moves aren't going to be dealing tons of damage, but these Ice Fangs are going to deal a decent amount of damage. So I go ahead and block that first Leaf Blade, get Hydro Cannon off, and he decides to block that. He's going to get another Leaf Blade off, and I'm just going to shield it because that Shiftry is almost done. Ends up switching into Melmetal, which isn't a bad move. I am able to get this Hydro Cannon off, and he's probably going to block this right here. Yes, he does. So now we're both out of shields. I switch into my Snorlax, and I'm trying to get to that Earthquake because Earthquake would devastate this Steel Melmetal. Gets a Rock Slide off, and I think he's going to get to another Rock Slide. Melmetal is probably running Superpower Rock Slide, and Superpower is definitely going to deal a decent chunk of damage. And right here, I'm almost to my Earthquake, but he gets Superpower and knocks out my Snorlax. Dang, that sucks. But his defense and attack do fall, so that's positive for me. I send out my Feraligatr. He sends out his Giratina. So Ice Fang is going to deal a decent chunk of damage to his Giratina, and he gets a charge move off right here. Dragon Claw doesn't knock out my Feraligatr, and I am able to get to this Ice Beam. Ice Beam going to deal super effective damage to Giratina's Dragon typing, and you saw that does a decent chunk of damage. Bring in my Giratina and Shadow Claw down his Giratina, get some energy. He sends out Shiftry. I am able to get to this Dragon Claw. Shiftry is relatively squishy. Dragon Claw is going to knock out that Shiftry. Brings out that Melmetal, and right here I'm trying to go for the boost, so I'm just going to go for Ancient Power. If I get it, that secures the win, but if not, it's okay. I have a decent chunk of health still. Gets Rock Slide. I'm just trying to knock him out. I don't think the boost is worth the gamble at this point, so deal very efficient Dragon Claw damage because I'm getting stabbed from it. And those Shadow Claws are also probably dealing a decent chunk of damage. So Shadow Claw it down, GG's. So far we've come up against a Shiftry lead, we've come up against an Articuno lead, and Feraligatr is able to kind of put pressure on it either way, right? So I'm not giving up switch advantage with either of those, which is definitely nice. I think that's very important, especially if you have tanky Pokemon in the back. If you have tanky Pokemon in the back that can absorb charge moves such as Snorlax and Giratina, it's definitely a good idea to not give up switch advantage at the beginning of a battle. But let's get into the next battle. This one is going to be the third battle that we're going through in this video, but the fourth battle in this set. It's against Stevobot. So again, I am leading off with Feraligatr against a Charizard this time. So Charizard is going to be taking neutral damage from these Ice Fangs, but I am resisting that Fire Spin. Sends out Empoleon, and I am going to switch into Giratina. Didn't have a good answer to Empoleon, unfortunately for me, so my answer is Giratina. Go ahead and use Ancient Power, and look at that. I get the boost. Now I am pretty stupid, and I didn't realize that Empoleon had Blizzard eat that, but luckily I am boosted, so now I am just going to go for these Dragon Claws. Dragon Claws resisted, but deals a decent chunk of damage, but those Shadow Claws deal a lot of damage, especially with a boosted Giratina. So now he goes ahead and switches into his Alolan Muck. Snarl's not going to deal too much damage, even though it is doing super effective damage, and but I'm boosted and Giratina is tanky, so I'm going to try to preserve my Giratina as much as I can. So I know that more than likely he is going to have to knock me out with the charge move, so I go ahead and block that Dark Pulse, get this Dragon Claw off, and just try to get to that second Dragon Claw, get to another Dragon Claw, and I believe he should be shielding now. Yes, otherwise it would have probably knocked it out. He gets to a charge move right here. Even though I'm very low on health, I'm boosted, so I don't think that he's going to be able to knock me out with the Snarls. Get this Dragon Claw off, knock out that Muck, and he brings in Charizard, and because I'm boosted and I'm resisting those fire spins, I'm able to get off another Dragon Claw, and that does a good chunk of damage, about 30% of Charizard's health. Bring in Feraligatr, he gets a charge move because Charizard's attack stat's kind of ridiculous, but Blast Burn, I'm resisting it, and I get this Hydro Cannon off right away, and that will do it for the battle. So GG, moving on to the fourth battle of this video. But before we do, I want to talk about it again. Feraligatr's Ice Fang, even though Charizard is a fire type, it's also flying, so it neutralizes, and I'm resisting the fire spin and that blast burn, which is definitely a positive. That's something that Articuno can't do, right? Articuno cannot resist those fire spins or a blast burn, so you have to be a little bit more weary. With Feraligatr, Blast Burn or Dragon Claw isn't going to one-shot me, so I can kind of rest easy and absorb that damage. But moving on to the last battle of this set. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going with the same team that I have, and we're going up against Rangers 915. Again, leading off with Feraligatr, leads off with Swampert. So far we've come up against 4 different leads, and Swampert charging up a decent amount of energy, and I'm going to go for this Hydro Cannon. He's charging up a lot of energy because I am going to resist that Hydro Cannon, but I will not resist that Earthquake. So now he has a chance for Earthquake. I don't want to risk it. Go ahead and block that Hydro Cannon. So he baited me. So he gets another charge move off right here. He might have an Earthquake, so I'm going to block it, but he baits me again. So that's 2 baits. And right here, what is it? It's another Hydro Cannon. Okay, that's fine. He switches into Venusaur, and I'm going for this Ice Beam. So I'm hoping he does not block this Ice Beam. If he does block it, then I'm kind of screwed, but he doesn't. Awesome. I switch into my Giratina to absorb this not very effective Frenzy Plant because I am Dragon. Dragon resists grass. Farm it down, sends in Togekiss. I farmed up enough energy to get off an Ancient Power. Gonna deal super effective damage to this Togekiss because it does not go blocked. It's trying to farm me down, but I am able to farm up enough energy to get to the second Ancient Power. It would knock it out if he didn't block, so he correctly blocks. Now I am going to send in my Snorlax because I know that Togekiss has a ton of energy. That energy is going to get wasted on my Snorlax. Not necessarily wasted, but it's going to get spent on my Snorlax. That was a visual glitch. It didn't do that much damage. We kind of simultaneous swap into our water Pokemon, but he gets a Hydro Cannon first, right? But that's fine. Spends all his energy. I get a Body Slam off onto this Swampert, and that's going to knock out that Swampert. Now all he has left is this Togekiss, and I am going to be able to get to this Body Slam before he's able to knock out my Snorlax, and that's going to be GG. So as you see, Feraligatr has a lot of positive matchups and doesn't give up that switch advantage early in the battle. So that leads me to believe that it's a very good lead. It just deals a neutral damage to almost everything, or it puts pressure on your opponent every time Feraligatr gets to a charge move or a fast move, even with the Ice Fang. Most of it was neutral damage, as you saw. Other than maybe Melmetal is going to be resisting that ice move, but that Hydro Cannon is kind of scary to go up against, right? So that'll do it for this video. I hope this has inspired some of you to try out Feraligatr with Ice Fang in the Ultra League, and let me know how it goes for you guys if you guys do decide to use Feraligatr in your Ultra League battles. But that'll do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you like it, and if you want to keep up to date with any of the content that I put out, please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. But yeah, that's it, guys. Till next time, this is Bestinwest. I'll catch you guys later.